Welcome everybody, this is a chocolate truffle and this is a disgusting vlog. Enjoy! Kinda tastes like tiramisu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, oh well. It's pretty tasty. But tiramisu leaves you with this warm feeling inside. This is just like straight up chocolate, you know? It's supposed to be chocolate truffle. I think truffle is like a fungus or something. Is it a mushroom? I don't know. Truffle's just this weird thing that is apparently rare and people charge too much for. But I like desserts. I think my favorite dessert is probably, well, outside of the Hungarian rigolyonci, I like the Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie. Yeah. Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie is a delicious flavor of any ice cream. But that's probably my favorite. But if it came to like a cake, I would have to go with the Hungarian rigolyonci. At least I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. Hungarian was my first language, but like anyone that I know that speaks Hungarian is now dead, so it's kind of hard for me to pick it back up. But I'm thinking about relearning the language. That would be really cool. I've actually been thinking about it for a while, and every now and then I look into it. Because when I was raised to be very proud of my Hungarian heritage. So, I mean, I wasn't able to speak English until I was like, what, 4 or 5-ish? Like, I found it really hard to communicate when I was like really young at school. Because I mean, like, yeah, I could understand English, but then I had to like relearn a language or learn a new language in order to communicate with like my peers. And yeah, that was just really weird. I don't remember much of it, but yeah, there was definitely a language barrier back then. I probably had an accent too. But as with everything, in time, your memory fails. It deteriorates. You forget. And then that puts me onto a subject of like memory. I mean, our brains are developing new cells all the time, replicating themselves as they go. I can't remember the specific amount of time, but I think a bunch of times throughout your life, every single cell in your body gets replaced at some stage. So, does that mean that you're still you? Like, the person you were born, like the person you were when you were born, to the person you are 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 80 years in the future. Are you still the same person? If every single cell has been replaced? I don't know. But I've been watching a lot of Vsauce recently and it's making me wonder. Vsauce is a wonderful YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, many YouTube channels. There's Vsauce 1, or just Vsauce, then there's Vsauce 2 and Vsauce 3. I think there's another one, but it's not Vsauce. It's, but I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called. Dong? I think it's called Dong. But, I don't know. Watching a lot of that sort of stuff on YouTube is very interesting to me because, like, I mean, not just because, hey, YouTube, support YouTubers. No. I'm very interested in, like, psychology and science and, you know, anything that makes you think outside the box as well. Like, some of the things that are on Vsauce, I've been asking for a long time and just come up with on my own. Like, for example, how do you describe a color without mentioning something that is that color? How do you describe color to a blind person? You can't. Unless somehow you attribute color to a feeling, you can't. And even then, it wouldn't work. Like, what? Would you, like, set up an electrical shock system or something? So if something's blue, you get a certain voltage, and if something's red, you get a different voltage, you know, that sort of thing? I mean, but that doesn't describe color. That just means this is blue and that is red. But describing color, and also wondering if my eyes see the same color as your eyes. My green may be your red. My blue may be your purple. Who knows? I don't. But these are the questions we ask ourselves, isn't it? The stuff that we get interested in. The stuff that makes it go, maybe. Now, when it comes to science, it's very controversial. But there are people that don't understand science and that care more about social media than they do about science. And they believe bullshit that some randoms have made as a prank or a joke or a, I don't know why they do that. They just do. But whatever you call fake news or whatever, not the way that Donald Trump says it, but on social media, I've come across a few articles that I've been like, yeah, that's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. That's not possible, or not physically possible, or that's just not happening in the world today, or at all. And some people are buying into this shit, and it's just disturbing. Well, people believe, they believe it from an article or a series of articles or videos that have been made to spread lies. Or someone's got a radical opinion and they want people to follow them. It's not grounded in science. And then they say it's scientific. Like, it's science and it's scientific. It's not. It's just upsetting to see that the world is still doing shit like this. And even, like, it's even more popular to do that stuff now because of the internet. So, out of all the wonderful things and the amazing stuff that you can get, and the education that the internet can provide is amazing. But dishonesty, that's something that's very real. And that's something that we all have to face every day. Whether it's looking at our Facebook feed, or talking to someone who's upset and doesn't want to tell you about it. To anything. People lie, they cheat, they steal, they take advantage of people, they manipulate, But why do they do this? That's something I'd like to get to the bottom of. And it's something I might get into later on my channel. But the main thing is, the main draw that I would like to say is, think outside the box. And be as honest as you can. With everyone. I mean, sure, a little white lie here and there. Like, if it's someone's birthday and they're going to have a surprise birthday party or something, okay, that's granted. You don't want to spoil the party. Okay, that's different. But when you're straight up lying and taking advantage of people, you're an asshole. Stop doing that. You shouldn't do that. Now, we're turning up to the holidays, Christmas time, Hanukkah time, all of the times. So maybe everyone's New Year's resolution, instead of it being, I'm gonna work my ass off so I can buy a car, which is fine. And if that's what you want to do, so be it. But let's add something to the list. My resolution has always been, and will always be, stay as honest as you possibly can. And I think that if more people follow suit, the world would be a better place. So if you're watching this going, why is he sitting here eating chocolate truffle and talking about really complicated things? Because I can. And because I'm not afraid to voice my opinion or to tell the truth about facts of life. Like the facts of life. There are bad people out there. There are good people out there. There are people that take advantage of you, and there's also people that won't. You never know who your true friends are until you're in a crisis. I didn't find out who had my back until I was homeless. I was homeless for a year. Family and friends turned their backs. They weren't there to support me. I found out who my true friends were. It's so funny. Especially after spending so long in a social environment where everyone knows your name and everyone is friendly with you. But they're only friendly to you. They weren't necessarily friends. And that's something I had to learn the hard way, and I hope not many of you have to, but you will, with time, depending on your age, and depending on your experiences. Everyone's different, everyone's a unique individual, and I respect that. But there are hard times ahead for all of us. But there's also good times ahead for all of us. So let's concentrate on the good times and make more of those by staying honest, by being forthright, and by appreciating those around us that matter. Do a good deed today. Go out or stay in, either one. Contact someone and just buy them a coffee, or give them a cookie, or I don't know, ask them how their day has been. Put a smile on their face. That's all you gotta do. You don't even have to do that. But if everyone does that, the world would be a better place. If we all did something like that on a daily basis, could you imagine the change that we could make? But that's all hypothetical. Why not let's just cut the bullshit and put it into practice? Be a good person and enjoy your holidays. And I'll see you soon, INTERPEEPS.